Alrighty. Had one show canceled. I had to cancel the other because I thought I had something else and then I didn't have something else. And not important. Tuesday, August 26th, 2025 at 12:07 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll be a solo rant. I don't necessarily have anything to talk about. It's more of a, I don't know. I've never regretted doing episodes. I've never regretted kind of putting in the work. And I have like what I call like prime mental real estate, which is after a full night's sleep, a good workout at the gym, a good meditation, like not being sick and whatever. And that's just like a window where it's good to get something out of that. It's like the sun shining, get the fucking crops and the whatever. So I don't really want to do a show, but it's served me well to over the years to just keep working. Um, so yeah, but I had yesterday I had Colonel Stephen Murray and Tom Luongo, and those are the best episodes because I just kind of sit there and listen. But it's one thing I have been thinking about, and I said it last summer, I maybe even said it the summer before that, would be, if you're purely after power, you just straight up total, not even, not even justifying things like, you know, I'm sure a lot of like generals from World War II probably weren't bad people. They had been traumatized and watched a tenth of a billion people get slaughtered. And so, in the years and decades after that, they were more gung ho about losing a couple 10,000 soldiers here and there because they had seen the other side. Now, I'm sure some of them were demons from hell that enjoyed it, whatever. But I think for most of human history, asterisk, most of the people doing these things believe it's for the greater good, which almost never ends up being the case. But now I think the people at the very top tend to be highly high IQ psychopaths who they don't need to justify anything. This is just my speculation, but it's nationality, ideology, religion, the underclass, the upper class, the whatever. Those are all masks in my estimation. Those are all convenient masks that they put on to facilitate their ends. It's a means to an ends. Now, it's not all of them. And I also, the guys that think they were doing the right thing, I mean, who am I to cast judgment? It's, Truman signing off on us going to Korea. Truman also dropped an atomic bomb and he himself served in World War One. Like, I would have to have some humility and go, maybe he's learned a thing or two or seen a thing or two that I can't comprehend as a 35-year-old in an air-conditioned apartment. So I don't even mean to be casting judgment. That's not the case. That's not the point of this rant. And then yeah, sure, they're crazy people. They get off on it. Yeah, whatever. That's always going to be part of it. But purely just trying to win. Like I don't know, think of like Battlefield or Call of Duty or whatever. You're like blue team or red team. You're trying to win, man. Now it might be different if like your best friends on the other team. You guys might even try to kill each other just for shits and giggles. But if you're just logging in by yourself and you just, you're setting out to kill, you want to get your kill death ratio up, or you just want to lay waste. You don't even care about your own stats. You're not married to blue or red, RUS or USA. You don't. It doesn't even register in your mind. You don't even fucking care. Like when I play Ace Combat 7, I don't. I use the best plane for the mission. I don't care if it's Russian or Chinese or American. I don't give a fuck. It's a game. Now imagine if you had that same I don't give a fuck about life, which is very different from being able to justify, carpet bombings, which take out whole villages, and it hurts, and you probably I would imagine you think of it, and it probably does haunt you, but you have to almost justify it for, your way of life and your kids and whatever. You have to make a genuine effort to either not feel it or to feel the opposing emotion. I'm doing this because I love my homeland. You have to inflate that so large that it crushes the bad feeling. That's effort. No matter how long it takes or how good you are, whether you truly believe it's the right thing, it's like, watching D-Day and like, yeah, I mean, we gotta fucking end this war and the atomic bomb. Or even if it's more like abstract, like Vietnam or domino theory or, whatever, bombing Laos or, gets harder, but I could see it. And I would imagine the longer you're in the military or the intelligence community, you probably get a little better at it, you know. I would imagine somewhere along the lines, a lot of people lose their humanity. But I think some people probably are just like, hey, it's like being a trauma surgeon. It's like you cannot grieve over every because you are now going to be a bad surgeon and you're going to lose more people because you're not in the zone. But that's still like an effort, you know? Like that requires an effort. Like Joe Ted and I did a show a couple months back, essentially devil's advocating for why they should have blown Kennedy's head off. And it gets brought up a lot. And like, I look at it as more of like no, I'm proud of that episode because I'm proud I'm able to entertain ideas I don't necessarily believe. That's fun to me. Being able to put your head in something and not get immediately. It's like when I say AOC is hot, and I guarantee as soon as I just said that, a number of you listening went, "Oh, she's a fucking." Now, you're saying that because you don't agree with her politically. If you're 21, you saw her at a bar, she's hot as fuck. Shut the fuck up. So is Lauren Boebert. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. So is Melania. Shut the fuck up. Yes, they are. They're hot. Shut the fuck up. If you disagree with that, you're gay. You just fuck off. You know. Where was I going with that? Whatever. Oh yeah, the Ted thing. When we were talking about JFK, and like, yeah, you can see, but even that required effort. He and I were both like thinking, and I was like citing everything I could about the generals, and my entire, I think, hypothesis was like these generals just saw World War II on they served in World War One, they were generals in World War Two, they saw this shit, and they thought he was bringing us to a third World War, and they were like, this cannot go. He's one dude. Shoot that Mick in the fucking head. Now I'm sure some were just like, yeah, I just don't like him or whatever. But that still requires effort. You have to try. As Baz always says, there's a difference between the psychopaths and just like the outright like child rapists, because the child rapists cover their tracks because they know what they're doing is wrong. The psychopaths or the mentally impaired don't try to hide anything because they truly are just now you still have to jail them and kill them, but they're not they're not hiding anything because they don't understand anything that they're doing is wrong, which is a whole other thing. All these are levels of effort. But think about a video game where you just blue team or red team. Halo 1, Blood Gulch, fucking Call of Duty Metro. Like, just think about that. Sandstorm Insurgency. Oh, that's against bots, I guess. So is Helldivers. But think about it. Like, you're not, you might like a certain team because they spawned on the side of the map that you like and that you know, but that's not allegiance to that team. That's you just wanted that thing. Now there is some allegiance when you're a squad with like your friends versus like when you're playing with people you don't know, even like Helldivers. I will fucking like risk everything, lose all of our samples, all of our XP, everything, to go rescue a friend who doesn't need to be rescued. Like we're both maxed out. We have the highest levels. We have everything unlocked. But it's just like that's my homie. I'm gonna go get him. Versus if you're just playing with some random people that you don't give a fuck about. At best case, you don't give a fuck about. You're just like, yeah, I don't give a shit, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna like outright kill you, but I'm gonna do almost nothing to help you. But even that, there's still some. No, that's maybe more psychopath. The only reason I would help them is if I think they can aid me. Actually, that's exactly what it is. Because when I go in by myself, I throw an SOS beacon to bring other players in. Not because I want a team, but because you get more reinforcements. You get more lives per person that you bring in. So it is psychopathy. You got to put yourself in that mindset of not even how could you do that? Oh, well, he was a World War II general. And oh, I can see where over the decades and everything you've seen and stuff you know behind closed door. I can see where that would maybe you get to A to Z. You go, oh, that's why you can justify the bombing of Laos. On the surface, you can't really. You go, wait, what? But you look at their whole lifetime, their whole track record of service, and you go, okay, if you can step aside from it and like remove emotion and judgment and be like, okay, I can see how you get from A to B. You don't really need any of that when it comes to like home invasions because that's pretty, there's no like track record and there's no molding of thought over time. It's just like, guy in your house, this is your house, not his house. Your wife, kids, shoot him. That's pretty like bare out in front of you, right? See the dog, pet the dog. It's pretty, there's not really any explanation needed. Other things, I would say like Curtis LeMay or maybe even James Jesus Angleton. Some of the shit they did, you go, and then but once you go and read an entire biography about him and you read about Curtis and his time in World War II, and you go, okay, doesn't mean you have to co-sign it, but you go, I can see where you get to that strange Lovian persona. Yeah, I get it. Okay, you know. Like when I get like big guests now, I'm almost never nervous. I used to always like shit my pants. And it's like it's not that I'm like better at this or mature. It's just that I've done 1,822 of them. I'm kind of just the only thing I'm ever nervous about is excitement because I think it's a big show that's going to get a lot of views and hopefully make me a couple more fucking bucks this month so I can put it into some savings. But that's about it. So you go, okay, I get that. You need something like a video game, blue team, red team, to go, okay, it's just a random, because there's not even, you go, oh, well, he thinks he's protecting his. That itself is still effort. Well, why are the Chinese doing the Belt and Road Initiative? Well, I would imagine some of them probably, or a lot of them come from poverty and their parents come from poverty, and the Chinese feel the last century has been the century of humiliation. And they're a 5,000-year-old culture. And yeah, to a degree, I'd imagine they probably feel justified to a form of, I don't know, wisdom about running a society. And so they want to go strangle the rest of the world because America's doing it. So why not they? How come they don't take it? All right. But even that requires effort. It requires some sort of put myself in their shoes, put myself in their rice field and understand the napalm. You want to like not even have that. You want something as simple as this is where I'm in the map. I got the gun, I got the sniper rifle and the scope, and I got some flashbangs. I'm gonna go win. Why do I want to win? Because I want to win. I'm already maxed out. I don't even need anything else. I've unlocked every weapon and every support weapon and every stratagem. And why are you playing? Because fuck you. I want to fucking win. I'm gonna fucking shoot you in the head. I do that in Ground Branch. There is no leveling up in Ground Branch. There's not even playing against other players. At best, you can have a friend join you. But I'm still wildly aggressive in that game. Why? Because fuck you. I'm gonna fucking win. Eat a dick. Imagine that, but in this world. You don't need to be convinced of anything. You don't need to go, well, it's for the great. Not imagine it's not even there. It's not even something to register. Again, let's say Curtis LeMay or who, Dulles brothers. You walk through the justification when they were born in World War One and the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl in World War Two and blah blah blah, and they saw all of it. So we're gonna take out Kennedy or we're gonna go into Vietnam and okay, you can see where they justify it. Now, are they gonna maybe make some money? Well, if we're already doing this thing that we've justified morally, why not make a couple bucks? Why not? Someone's gonna. Okay, not good, not great, but I can see it. I go, all right, yeah, sure. I'm probably not above that. Not even that. You need to just not even have a millisecond of thought about why you're doing it. And that's what I feel when I go into video games. Give me the gun. I'm gonna go win. Why? Because fuck you. I just started playing Far Cry 6. It's a dog shit game. I legit and I streamed it, I think last night or the night before. And immediately, the first thing I do in any game that I've never played before is I just start killing. I just immediately start killing. I start seeing what the repercussions are, where to find ammo, power projection. Nothing else matters to me. I don't care about skill trees or unlocking or plots. I skip every cutscene. I don't give a shit. Power flows from the barrel of the gun. I'm gonna kill everyone. And the only reason I won't kill people is games like Far Cry are fucking faggoty and they penalize you. And if you kill like three or four civilians in a row, it kills you. The only reason I don't kill in Far Cry is because it's gay. If remove that, I'd be shooting everyone. I'm on nobody's team. I'm here to win. Why? Because it's a video game. It's not fucking real. It's on a screen. It means nothing to me. Imagine that's how you interface with the world. Okay. All of this a preamble for. If I was after raw power, I imagine I'd probably want to be in the United States geographically. It's Fortress America and the GDP and the weapons and I get it, all empires rise and fall. But hey, this one's at a pretty high point right now. Even if it's all, everything that's bad with it, it's still at a pretty good point. All right. Do I give a fuck about Democrats or Republicans? No. This is just you play just this is the psychopath. I don't care if the border's open or closed. I don't care if fentanyl is coming in or if it's not. I don't care if there are riots. I don't care if there's a pandemic. I don't care if the election was stolen or if I'm doing the stealing. I don't care. I want to win. Okay. Imagine that's the mindset. There would be no necessity of like a changing of heart of like maybe we've gone too far with cancel culture or no. They would just be I've never played chess in my life, so I don't even know what the pieces are, but I think the word's pawn. They would just be pawns. They would just be a means to an end to me. It means nothing. And if I were to sacrifice something, it's because I have a bigger goal I'm trying to get, so I'm willing to sacrifice something smaller. I'm willing to sacrifice the ounce of silver to get the fucking kilo of gold, whatever. And I don't get my emotions tied up in things, and I don't get my ego wrapped up into did this plan work or not. I don't care. It's just purely automaton. How do I get to the next thing? So, the last, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years, early 2000, you wrap yourself up in the flag and go, we gotta fucking stop terrorism. You don't give a fuck. You're rolling out domestic surveillance. You're creating even more U.S. military bases around the globe. You're further positioning the stranglehold of the U.S. military on the planet and thus its resources, as well as cracking down at home. Patriot Act, Dragnet surveillance, DHS fusion centers, uh, extraordinary rendition, advanced interrogation techniques, Guantanamo Bay. All right. So then you wrap that up around 2021. Your ego's not bruised. You're not like, I fucking wanted that to work. No, we got another gig coming. We just did a COVID gig. It was great. But hey, here's a little inside baseball. In about 6 months, Russia's going to invade Ukraine, and we know that because we're going to make it happen. And there's a whole new payday in there. All right, are we worried about Islamic? No, no, no. That's yesteryear, man. What are we doing now? Slava Ukraini, baby. Fucking give me the new flag. Give it to me. Wrap yourself up. Go with it. Climate change. Hey, we're gonna save the fucking whales and the bees and the whatever. No more emissions, whatever. And can we limit the range of people's cars to restrict movement and freedom? Okay, we'll do that. Can we track that? Can we have kill switches on those? Nice. Get it. Got it. Love it. Misinformation about COVID, that means nothing to me. I don't give a fuck if it's killing people or saving people. I don't care if it's shitting gold bricks. What is it? It's an excuse. We can censor people. Do it. Do it now. Do it now. Oh, more riots means Trump can get out so I can get in. I don't care about Trump or Biden. I just want to be in. Yeah, do hey, BLM, got it. Can't breathe. It would just mean it would just mean nothing. There would be no hiccup. There would be no friction. There'd be no stammering. There'd be no cold feet. It would just be go, next. And you would evaluate the playing field soberly because you wouldn't be caught up with those pesky human emotions and ethics and whatever. So you might put you'd be like, yeah, give him raid Mar-a-Lago. All right, that didn't work. All right, hit him with 37 felony counts. That didn't work. Blow his fucking head off. That didn't work. Oh, it's and Elon's backing him now. They just went on Rogan. Rip off the Democrat mask, crumble it up, bring the jobs back to America. We need to button up that southern border. That's what you would do. And what if losing the southern border? They probably loses a lot of money, probably did a lot of human trafficking, a lot of coke, fentanyl. Yeah, I get all that. We're gonna keep the Ukraine thing going. Yeah, I get all that. The tariffs, is that gonna put more money in my pocket? Yeah, go for it. You would wrap yourself up in all of those things if you went, yeah, I'm okay with sacrificing the southern border. You cut USAID. Do you know how much money we were fucking making off that? Hey, don't worry about USAID. Don't worry about the Ukraine spigot running dry. We're setting up a fucking control grid through Palantir and a bunch of other intelligence military contractors you've never heard of. We're gonna have a tighter control on this planet than the fucking than East Berlin, the police did in East Berlin, the Stasi. And then we're gonna export that to the world, and Russia and China are gonna adopt it, and we're gonna have a truly global dictatorship that you've never even been able to dream of. Oh. So what do we have to do to get there? Well, no more southern border thing. American flags everywhere. MAGA this, MAGA that. All right, because that's the way the people are going right now. Okay, yeah, yeah, no, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll put a Trump bumper sticker on. That's kind of how I view this. And now it could be that here's the other thing, is it might just be an organic swing to the right. And I always use this example or analogy, is I think it was in the 80s, there was like this the Soviets launched a singular missile and they didn't warn the United States. And it didn't seem to be the beginning of a nuclear war because that type of attack is called a boob, a bolt out of the blue, meaning just on a random day you launched 5,000 nuclear missiles. It was just a singular one. So we thought it was like a science thing. And either we couldn't get a hold of them or they told us and we didn't believe them. I forget what it was. But it was a singular missile. And its path, I think it was going to Mars. But its path in the beginning looked like a ballistic missile aimed at the United States. Now, you could shoot down the missile, sure. The thing is whether it's sending a rover to Mars to collect dust or whether it's a 50 megaton warhead aimed at New York, that initial phase looks the exact same. They were even using the same rocket because those are just the ICBM rockets are the heaviest, strongest, get the most payload to orbit. And you can't know until it's over. Now, granted, you could always shoot it down, so that's a bit of a loophole in this analogy. But, I went to Mars and then we didn't create thermonuclear war. The thing about a lot of this stuff is like it's almost identical. This is what a psychopath would do. This is also what it would look like if it just went too far to the left for a while, from like Occupy Wall Street to like trying to blow Trump's head off. Like, what, 13 years? Yeah, it looks like it kind of went a little bit too far. You get the chop the kids' dicks off and call it special. And I mean, this is also what it would kind of look like going the other way. So that's the other thing. Is like it might also just be this. But if that missile, it seems like it's a science rover. But if it's not that it's like bringing over a piece of dynamite. It's going to be 50 megatons of thermonuclear hell. So although there's a small percent chance that that's what it is, if that is what it is, the implications are dire. It's not like a grenade, like a Looney Tunes stick of dynamite. It's everything. So when I see this happening, the rolling out of the National Guard into DC for what seems to be a horseshit reason. Big balls got jumped. Yeah, I'm not even against like cracking down on crime in the cities, but let's just remove emotion for a minute. That shit happens every second in this country. There's murders and fucking attacks every day in every city in the United States, and there always will be, and there always has been. Just on paper, that doesn't seem to be the reason why they're bringing in the National Guard. Maybe it is. Maybe it was just the final thing that doesn't seem like it. And they're cleared to carry ammunition. Now, I voted for Trump, and I do fucking hate the left. And I think they legitimately tried to kill him last summer. So my emotions and my brain are like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. You shouldn't have missed. He's in charge now. Now you're gonna get fucked in the ass. You fucking censored. You fucking killed people during COVID. Eat a dick. Okay, but that's the human response. If I were to remove my emotions from it and just look at this and pretend that this wasn't Trump, pretend this was President Vivek or President Kamala, and I saw the National Guard coming in because somebody got jumped and now they're carrying live ammunition, what would my first response be? I'd go, that's martial law. That's a takeover. That's the use of a federal police force to dominate what should be 50 legislative laboratories, instead to be under the tentacle grip of a central node that is DC. That seems to be where the evil empire is. But because it's Trump, I go, yeah, fucking, you know what? You shouldn't have fucking tried to normalize, men in thongs dancing in front of kids and drag queens at story hour. Okay, sure. I just have to be careful of what I'm cheering on. Now, ultimately, he was Eric Weinstein, the fucking faggot. He said something like the night before the election. He was like, I cannot vote, for I don't see my candidate. Not in Kamala, not it's just this long tirade, and people are like, "Fuck off, choose a side." So here's the other thing: is I can't sit here and wax poetic about blue team versus red team, and the reality is we live in a four-dimensional physical world, and you have to make decisions. So if I have to, gun to my head, I'm going Trump and go, yeah, you know what? I hope this is something good. So I don't want to also just sit on the board and be like, well, I can't decide. There's no value in that, you pussy. So if I have to make the decision, yeah, I'd say I'm behind it. You have to make it. So, I'm not 100% there, clearly, through this episode. But if I have to make a decision, yeah, I'm like maybe, I don't know, 70% behind Trump, 65. But I just have to be honest to myself and go, if this happened under anyone else for this reasoning, I'd probably call horseshit. Now, again, you know, who doesn't deep down hope that this is something real? That they're gonna go arrest all the bad guys and, send them to Gitmo. I want it too. I also want Santa to be real, you know? So which one is more likely? Which one seems more probable based on just human history and Machiavellian high IQ psychopathy driven or operators? It'd probably be that this is something. This is a spoonful of sugar, the national, or this is the medicine that's wrapped up in the spoonful of sugar that is MAGA nationalism and no more woke stuff and cancel culture. And this is the medicine of, by the way, boots on the ground in U.S. cities, posse comitatus. You know, so I don't know, but as I said, there's no honor or nobility or strength in just going, well, I can't choose a side. No, that you're just as bad. You're worse because you can't even stand for something, you fucking douchebag. So I have a bug bite in the middle of my back and it's itching the fuck out of me. So yeah, I don't know. And I think part of this is more of like I'm saying this to like clear my own conscience. Not that anybody fucking listens to this show, but I don't know, something like that. You know, that's what I would do. This was a video game and I did not care about it. I just wanted to win. This is what I would do. This is exactly what I would do. How else? How the fuck else? You can't roll this shit out under Biden. People are already angry enough about, you know, FEMA responses and vaccination. What was it called? They've rolled out the mandate, the vaccine mandates, the all the money to Ukraine, all the yeah, yeah, yeah. 2020 election stolen, COVID, BLM, all that. You couldn't roll this out. But what if you really wanted to roll it out? What if rolling this stuff out was far more important than the smaller level game of COVID and BLM and George Floyd and whatever? What if the real fucking profit margin, not the 5%, but the 500x was the control grid and the boots on the ground? Yeah, you throw all that other shit out the window. Yeah, fuck climate change. Yeah, fuck whatever. Whatever. And you can see it right now. You can see it with AI and the AI superclusters and the power needed for them. You're throwing all, which is good because I fucking always thought it was horseshit anyway. But you can see just how easily that pawn, that facade of for the trees, you can see how quickly that's thrown out the fucking window. It's like thorium reactors now, like because it's a much greater reward. AGI and or what they think is AGI and whatever. It's not possible. Shut the fuck up. The pursuit of it is what matters because they believe it's possible. Doesn't matter if there isn't oil into your house. If Raytheon thinks there is, your house is going to go bye-bye. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just something to be careful to cheer on. Because whatever you approve against your enemies, you're also approving against yourself in the next election. Just my 2 cents. So, yeah, thanks for watching.